Be on your best behaviour.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Drone Out, episode 431. This evening we are joined by everyone's favourite curry kitten.
Hello.
Mr. Chairman, Cerberus Velvet.
Evening all.
And the band we have all come here today to hear about, it is Matt Snell.
Oh.
Yes, I really wanted to get on Matt because he was talking about, he's been mentioning everywhere, the bird event.
I have been spamming the internet widely.
Yeah, and I feel we should get in on the spam while it's fresh spam. Because there's the bird event, which is obviously a great name for an event already.
Yeah.
Well, then it actually stands for something, which is even better.
It does. Yeah. So as I think it was one of the Elon Musk's crew said, if you aim for the stars, you'll hit the moon. So I was like, right, first event, it's going to be called the International Race Days event. So BIRD. And if later I need to turn that to Birmingham, then that's also easy to do. So
yeah. So we should say straight off the bat, this is an event that is happening at the end of January in Birmingham.
Yes.
So if people get enticed by this and want to come and fly their whoops round, they should go to your website, which will be in the notes any second now.
MatthewSnell.co.uk/BIRD 2024, I believe. Yeah. MatthewSnell.co.uk/BIRD 2024. That is where you go to get all the information about it. It is on the 27th and 28th of January 2024. And it is a international tiny whoop event where we have pilots from literally across Europe. So we've got obviously people from the UK. We've got the Italians are coming in. We've got Germans coming over. All of a sudden, I was contacted by some Latvians a couple of weeks ago. We've got 5 Latvians coming. We have an American coming, Liz Sugano, who everyone in the Tiny Whoop Land should know from IGAL. So that's very exciting.
International Game of Whoops, right?
Yes, that's right. So they're gracing us with their presence, which is very exciting.
Definitely had some people in the chat get involved with IGAL, International Game of Whoops. And on the Discord as well, the LDO Discord, that's been mentioned a lot. So if people do follow that, then there you go. It's a good name drop.
Yes, exactly. So literally, it's an international whoop race where we put. It's a fun first FPV whoop race. So we're here to have a good laugh and then fly some whoops and eventually see who's the fastest. And yeah. That's basically the plan. It's over 2 days this year. In previous years, it's just been 1 day, but we've stretched it out, given people a bit more flying.
It's doubling.
Yeah, it's growing. Literally, every year the number of pilots is like, well, it's not doubling this year, but the finances are doubling this year. Yeah. Whew.
The fright factor has doubled.
Yeah, the oh fuck, don't get it wrong is doubling this year.
How many tickets are still available?
There are 4 race tickets remaining.
There you go. Not many.
There are 48 pilot spaces. Most of them are sold. There are 4 left. So at the beginning of the stream, if you want to run up and get them, I guess that will count against our numbers. But 40 race tickets left. So and then there are 4 standby tickets. Too. So every now and again someone will get ill or they can't turn up or whatever. So standby tickets are a bit cheaper. We still bring all your FPV gear as if you were going to race, and if someone doesn't show up on the day or are ill or whatever happens, then you can step into their place. But as a minimum, if you come as a standby ticket, then you will get to fly the track in the breaks. So you will get to do some flying.
And the other thing is sort of slightly unusually. I mean, we've got a Serb here, so not as unusual, but you're pushing for it to be quite spectator focused as well, right? There's a lot of spectators.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things with FPV is that obviously we are all super involved in the actual racing we want to see through the goggles because that's what we're used to seeing. We enjoy sitting behind the sticks and seeing what's going on. But for people new to the hobby, they've no idea what these kind of fuzzy images are and who's going to be in first and how to look at 4 screens at once and see who's winning. So we're going to try and make it as wife friendly as possible, if you like. As like so and I both agree on this, is why we kind of work well together, is that it needs to be like newbie friendly. So you can turn it on, you can go, right, what am I looking at, what's going on, and it's like, right, this is a drone race, this person's in the lead, this is where we're at in the thing, and this is why they're competing for it, and some information to like get people invested into who it is and why they're doing it, and
one of the
enjoy it.
That's something that I've banged on about talking to you guys before on this show, the infamous wife test, which is, it's fine to sit there watching YouTube on your laptop. Can you put it on the smart TV in the living room? Will you get away with it? So you have to present it so that it's interesting and involving, and a bit like Top Gear made it okay to watch car programs, but hopefully with a bit more content, than that.
Yeah, so that's the plan. So there's last year was the first year it went live stream, or well, proper live stream. There was a bit of a ghetto live stream going on a couple of years previous, but properly well put together, organized live stream by Serb, which is why we teamed up.
I don't know.
Really,
calling
really
it
well.
properly put together is I don't know. We
were let down by the bandwidth, but other than that, it was a good stream. We were very happy with it. Cheers, Eddie.
So how do you to make it past a wife test? Is it a case of having some screens up and having commentary about like what's going on, so the average viewer can just come in and just know?
You can't just put like we are now, 4 panels on the screen and 4 FPV feeds. So some of the things we do, like we insist all the pilots give us a headshot and give us their little square avatar, so that we can, before the races start, here's the 4 pilots, who you're looking at, and start talking about it. It's about selling personal stories, talking about people. And it's that thing of the drama. Where's the drama? Where are you looking for? Oh, this guy's got to get second place this time, or it's all over for him. And start talking about them and get the pilots in and interview them. And if you just put up 4 FPV feeds, very boring. If you talk about the people behind it, that's a bit more engaging. And also, get the chat going. Matt's got all sorts of interesting things going on the day that we'll be able to talk about. So, hopefully we can make it engaging. That's the trick, right?
Yeah. And not only engaging for like the people watching the live stream as well, but like I say, we've got lots of other stuff going on. So it's always just been, right, get together and have a race. And it's the goal for the event is to become at least the UK like Whoop event, so that you can come along, not only just pilots, but also mums, dads, and kids from the local area can come along and say, oh, you want to go see a drone race? Well, this is on, and you can come and watch it. You can see the drones flying around. They're going to be covered in LEDs because that's part of what we're mandating. You must have LEDs on it. So you can very easily see them fly around. You can very easily understand the track. You'll be able to give it a go yourself, because we're going to have simulators there. So the BMFA are coming along with a stand. They're going to put on some simulators so you can give it a go. I'm talking with a couple of FPV shops, so there's going to be like spares and whoops that you can buy. I'm hoping maybe in years to come, like this is a growing thing. This is the first time we've actually been able to have like additional like stands and things, but eventually I want it to become a micro indoor drone flight sort of 2-day festival where you can come along, give it a go, learn about drone flying in a safe environment with all the correct information and some jazzy lights and some funny dress up and just generally have a good laugh. That's the plan.
Yeah, talking of that, I was just having a quick look through sort of the prizes, and there are not 1 but 3 prizes based on onesies. What's that all about?
So we're very much fun first FPV. So if you're not having a good time, there's no point, right? The best pilots are the one having the most fun, right? We all know that. And because racers get very involved in wanting to come first, which, it's a race, you're going to want to do that. Sometimes the adrenaline can overwhelm politeness.
I've never thrown my chair across a pit, ever.
So the idea of the onesies was firstly to make it more colourful and more entertaining, and everyone just have a bit of a laugh. But also, if there are any sort of disagreements, you end up with like dinosaurs arguing with Batman, and it's only so serious you can take that, So that's the idea. It's kind of to diffuse the situation before it gets too heated, basically. So perfect example. These are actually the Italian guys. They came across from Italy when they had run their league over there. This was Team Blue Eyes and Matteo's from Speedy Pizza. They came over with their group, and they all dressed up as various birds and stuff in their onesies, and they had a great time. It was really good to see those guys all getting involved. It was amazing. So that's the idea. It's just to have fun and be colourful and enjoy it. This year, we're not mandating that the onesies are needed for racing, because we understand that these are some serious top pilots coming over to race here. And we're aware that some of the top pilots have sponsors, and part of their sponsorship is they've got to have to wear like the sponsor's colours. So if we say, right, you've got to wear a onesie, you're not going to be able to have your sponsor's t-shirt on. It's not going to impress the sponsors very much. And as much as we'd like to, do everything for free and nothing, unfortunately, sponsors are needed to pay for a lot of this stuff. So we have to do what we can to keep them happy.
I was genuinely surprised by the onesie thing, because when I was asked to come and race direct for Bird last year, I was like, I'm not wearing a onesie. It's not happening. I'm an old man with grey hair and grandchildren, and I'm not wandering around in a onesie. And then I got talked into, buy one. You don't have to wear it. Like, okay. So I got my Snorlax onesie, and it's like, it's in the bag. I'm not wearing it. And you know what? 10 minutes of being there with everybody running around in onesies having a good time, I was like, do you know what? Screw it, I'm putting the onesie on. It was just a good laugh. It was a good laugh.
It's so much fun, yeah. It was so much fun. We had Jesse P come over last year, which was great fun. And he had a Mario onesie, which was wicked. And we had the other he had Luigi onesie, and then when one of the Germans came over with Mario, that was that Idrisil? I think Michael Ruber, I think his name was. So you can see Jesse P there with his onesie on. I'm in Batman, and Serb's got his Snorlax. That photo is actually Phobos, the winner of last year. You might have seen Phobos on many. I think he did iGao as well, and Race Gao, and was he's one of the fastest tiny whip pilots in the world, obviously, because he won last year. And there's him holding up the trophy. So everyone just got involved. It was really good fun.
Nice. And I mean, so on the kind of more serious note, then you've got lots of things going on for spectators, for racers, for the hardcore racers who you obviously have there. What is the racing that's going on? What's the format, and what's how is it all going to work?
Okay, well, the race is split into 2 days. So the first day on Saturday is qualifying. So all of the 48 racers will be split into 4 groups of 12 pilots, and then we will run through races with 4 pilots in. So you'll have 3 races, right? And we'll just bang through those in a group. So your batteries are very close together, so you'll get a bit of like rhythm going. And you'll be going for your fastest 2 consecutive laps around the track. Okay, that will be timed, and then you will be seeded fastest, slowest, based on your qualifying times. That's Saturday. That's what we do on that day. Then the next day, Sunday, will be the finals day. The 48 pilots list will be split into 3 tiers. We'll have hobbyist tier, which is like the lowest tier, advanced tier in the middle, and elite tier at the top. And the 16 pilots in each will be racing for first, second, and third in each of those tiers, basically. The way we're doing the finals is set up so that every single race counts. Okay, so I don't have a graphic for it. Maybe Cerberus can dig out his graphic. I don't know. I thought I had that prepared, but I don't. But basically, each pilots will be split. There'll be 4 races to start with, and of your race, the first and second place will work up the tree, and the third and fourth place will work down the tree. So you need to be in the first and second on every single one of your races to work your way up to try and get first in your tier. If you're not in the first and second, then you will be limited in how high a place you can win. So every single race will count, and that's different to how some other Tiny Whoop races are run. But it's important that we do it this way so that it's easy for spectators to understand, and so that there's a level of pressure on every single race. Because, oh, okay, I messed that race up. Well, I've got 2 out of 3 more to go. I'll get them on the next time. It's like, well, that's fine, but you need to work on the day. Formula One racers don't get to have another race, the next day. They need to make it work on the day, and that's what we're going for.
I guess that means it's sort of more even pressure throughout the day. Is the
idea. It means every single one of your races could have an effect on your final position. So all the way through qualifying, you'll be trying to push as hard as you can to make sure you're in as high a tier as possible, so that you have the chance to win the best prizes and take home the most glory. And then on the finals day, every single race will count towards your final position. So it will be important to race your best at all times. And the races that are coming on.
Ooh, there's a graphic. Let's show the graphic.
How's that for quick work?
Good job, thank you.
It's missing the names, but if you imagine 4 names in the Heat 1 box and 4 names in the Heat 2 box, so positions 1 or 2 go through to the upper, and 3 and 4 go through to the lower. So follow the colourful lines.
Yeah, so if you start on the left and work your way right, so the first and second pilot from Heat 1 will go along the green line to the upper semi. And then if you're in the upper semi, first and second will go through to the 1 to 4 position final. And if you're in third and fourth place, you'll follow the red and the pink lines to the other finals. So that will be one of the tiers. So for example, that will be hobbyist tier, and then we'll do and we'll run through all of those races, and then we'll do advanced tier, run through all of those races, and then finally elite tier and run through all those races. So by the end of it, we'll have positions from first place in elites down to 16th place in hobbyist, and everyone will have a position that they came across the whole of the competition.
Cool.
That's the plan.
What's the rules on what you can fly? Because I know different whoop races have different definitions of what a whoop is, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. So we are very typical whoop. So 65 mil. Let me see if I've got one here for you. So 65 mil frame whoop. That is what you want to be flying. The 65 mil is measured motor post to motor post. You can run 35 mil props or 31 mil props. Don't mind that, but it's 65 mil frame. Okay.
There we go. That's the rules. That's what to go for.
Them's the rules. The most typically people will run a B2FPV Meteor frame, or their new Air frame is a bit lighter, so that's really good, or a Happy Model 65 frame. Flight controllers can be all-in-one boards, or sometimes people prefer, those ones. That's the Happy Model one, isn't it? Have you seen the new B2FPV airframes, by the way?
There's really good small products in
that. That one? Yeah, that's one. B2FPV sent in a care package of products for the event. So I'll just grab one out and you can see the difference. Bring it into it then. There you go. Oops.
It's crashed already.
Jumps off. There you go. So there is the.
It's very thin.
It's got a lot thinner sort of ducts. I don't know if you can sort of see. A lot thinner ducts. It's got hollowed out parts on the bottom. It's a really, really good lightweight frame. And as far as I've been racing them. I went over to Italy with some of the guys, and oops, headphone jack came out. Went over to Italy a couple of weeks ago to fly with Dan Carpi and Jaggers, and flew the airframe over there, and it makes your Whoop noticeably lighter, which is good, because light is fast. so yeah, it's a really good frame. So that's basically what people are flying, either all-in-one boards or external VTXs. They tend to be a bit better for video, external VTXs, a bit more stable, and also you can get better antenna for them as well. The kind of whip wire antennas are a bit rubbish. And then your preference for props and motors and cameras and things, we don't mandate that. The only other thing that's mandated is the LEDs. So this feeds into the kind of wife test bit. If you just see like a grey blur going past, you're not going to know what it is. So we're mandating you must have a minimum of 2 LEDs, and they must be opposing directions. So up, down, left, right, forwards and backwards, I don't care, but they must be in 2 different directions. They must be visible basically from all the way around the Whoop.
And it's so much nicer for a commentator as well to be able to commentate and know. Saying know who's who would be a wild phrase. Having half a chance of knowing who.
Yeah, my ideal would be to have Whoops like this, where they've got a cob LED all the way around.
It looks like that's radioactive.
It genuinely is.
Cherenkov radiation. So is there any requirement on the colors? Because I know at some events you've got to like either change colors or have certain colors.
If you really want to get into Serby's best book, then you will have VTX colors will VTX assigned colors on your programmable LEDs. That will make Serby so happy.
So there is a standard set in Betaflight. If you set your LEDs as VTX controlled, then the channel that you're on sets the color, and because that's the Betaflight standard, you always know that. Damn it, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But say R1,
on the spot.
R1 is always red. It's not. I can't remember which one is red. But you'll always know that R1 is red. But trying to get addressable LEDs onto a Whoop that will be VTX controlled, we're not quite there with
some of the pads on the flight controllers are super small, so they take a little bit of good eyesight to get them.
Yeah, and if you tell a Whoop pilot, I want you to add 3 centimeters more wire onto your, no, too heavy, can't do that. Have more wires.
We have a solution to that though. If I try and dig that out, you're going to see me rummaging around in my bits box. But one of our Pardon?
Demonetized.
Yeah. No. One of our pilots, RC Maniac, who works very closely with Serb on the live stream and on the DVR. He cheers, bro. He has produced his own addressable LED strips that are lighter than a gnat's fart. Seriously, these things are so light. They are, and the best bit is when he's made these like principal LED, these surface mount LED like strips, he's then hand placed all of the surface mount LEDs onto them and produced loads. So those are going to be going up for sale on the Bird event website in the merch section, and they are incredible bits of electronics that just deserve a bit of a shout out because they're so impressive and so light.
I've just seen a couple of questions from Jack in the chat. The first one, the second one first. Can you run radium instead of LEDs?
If you're willing to have it in your pocket at all times, next to your gentleman's jewels, then yes.
And it is a slightly more sensible question. Is the FPV flying analog or digital or both or either, or how's that working?
So we're doing both. Up until this point, we've run analog only because obviously digital gives an advantage to like being able to see in a lot more detail. But we're running both because it's going to be quite a long track. So we'll talk about the track in a bit, but it's going to be a long track, and the weight disadvantage that digital gives you kind of balances out the advantage of the video. So it's up to the racers to decide whether they want to have a slightly heavier quad on a long track, or if they want to have a lightweight quad but with a bit worse video maybe. The video, it's going to be a harsh environment for video. We recommend bringing your best kit. We did a test race there, which maybe we can stick up some photos of the test race. We had a full house of Whoop pilots with all sorts of different kit. We had loads of different receivers, digital, analog running next to each other. We had stock beta Meteor 65s against like the most bespoke lightweight racing Whoops you've seen, and goggles that were like rapid fire fusion, all the way down to EV800D box goggles with just one dipole antenna sticking out the top, and everyone was able to race at their race pace. So if you should be fine with whatever gear you bring, but I would recommend bringing the best gear you've got, because it will, there's going to be a lot of RF in the air. There's a lot of concrete and metal, so you want to make sure you're going to get good video on the day. But yeah, we had a lot of different people there, and the video was really good.
The funniest thing about our test event was the pilot with the worst VTX there was Matt.
Yeah, ironically. I was waiting on some new I was waiting on a shipment of diamond boards to come in ready for this race in Italy, and they just hadn't arrived. So I was using my old banged up ones that only get used around the house. It doesn't matter if I bleed over anyone else, because there's no one else here. It's just me chasing the dogs. But yeah, I had a dodgy Whoop, which I had to like resolder on the day and like stick in and leave it on a shelf and pretend to fly it. But we got a good set of testing done.
So I want to know if they're going to keep the Christmas decorations up from those photos. Because
I have asked them if they're going to keep the string lights up for us, because they look wicked. The Christmas tree, they said, will probably be down by then. But they are genuinely looking at keeping up the string lights. Would be wicked. But yeah. So if you bring up the photo of the event space again, if nobody knows, Millennium Point is a charity that is all around the STEM subjects. They like to promote technology, engineering, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths. That's the one. And they're called Millennium Point. They were founded in the. No, I don't care about that. As long as you can design something cool, it doesn't matter. And they have this massive venue in the centre of Birmingham, and they have a space there with the think tank, which is the Science Museum in Birmingham, and they're all about promoting science. So when I came to them with this event, they were like, yes, we're definitely on board. And I was like, wicked, can we fly in this massive space? And they said, yes, you can. And so after a lot of risk assessment and toing and froing and bribing people with hobnobs,
we had a lot of paperwork to pull that one off.
Yeah, it has. But we get to fly in this amazing space. So for those of you that are watching YouTube, you can see there's this big sort of arse of the Enterprise shape part of the building.
Millennium Falcon, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Millennium Falcon. That's what I was going for. Why did I say Enterprise? Well, it's sort of Enterprise-y shaped as well. Millennium Falcon's butt has reversed into Millennium Point. And we're going to be flying. Most of the track is going to be under there. If you look like as it goes down, you can see under there. Most of the track will be under there, but we will also be flying out into this space, and there will be some quite long, fast sections out in this space. So it will be quite spectacular to be able to fly around here, and the spectators will be able to see this from down below.
That's the nice thing about it being Whoops, right? Is you can have people wherever you like.
Yeah. Well, yes, you say this. Like you say, there was a lot of risk assessment going on to get this to be able to fly like this. So there are some restrictions, but we are going to be able to fly in this big space, and so thankful for the Millennium Point.
So that is an incredible space. So are you able to use parts of that space as some of your track instead of just having like a bunch of gates around? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So our aim is to have some sort of dive gate and a couple of gates hanging in free space right out in the middle of that atrium area.
So you've got what, 4 floors worth of height there?
Yeah, it's a good old space, isn't it? That's what I mean. So it's going to be a fast track in this area. So the weight disadvantage of HD will kind of will weigh up against the advantage of good video or HD video. So there's a bit of like tactics there to consider.
Really like the idea of there being like a quad racing track that is more vertical than it is horizontal. that appeals to me quite a lot.
Yeah, because obviously when you set it up at home, you basically get a load of hoops on the ground, and you're basically trying to avoid hitting into the carpet at all times. So having some altitude to play with is really good fun. It also means you've got a lot more chance to just absolutely balls nail it, go 100% throttle for a good amount of time. So.
And the area that we've got underneath the Millennium Falcon's bum, there's also a stairwell there as well going up.
Yes.
Which is hopefully those lights are there because it's beautifully lit. So we've got a real nice opportunity for a proper 3-dimensional track. That should be really good.
Which is quite rare in whoops. Like I say, you're normally on the carpet or in like a hall where there's not too much height. So we're really looking forward to a bit more altitude.
We're going to fill it with gates and send them out over the balcony into the free air, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be wicked. We're very excited. It's we had a good track last year, and everyone. I was very, I'm not shocked, but I was very humbled when people came up to me and said the track was good last year. But this year we're going to go a whole nother level.
Nice. All four,
yeah.
That's very cool. So, I mean, maybe now is a good time to talk about sort of your backstory of how you've got to this point where you've got this enormous space with all these international pilots coming and all these sponsors and everything. And like, it seems a pretty mature event at this point.
Yeah. So this will be the fourth event, fourth Birmingham International Race Day event that we've done, and it all started because, I kind of got involved with FPV whoops from watching DRL, and then started Googling what you can do and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bloody hell, 5-inch racing is really expensive. I wonder if there's something smaller. And there was. So I was like, right, that's for me. And you can do it at home. And I got to chase my dog around with a little whoop. So that was really good fun. And because I didn't know anybody in the space, I set up Birmingham Tiny Whoopers, where I just found a pub in the centre of Birmingham that would let us come and fly around, and met some really cool people and learnt a lot about FPV and whoop racing. Unbeknownst to me, Serb was doing a very similar thing with the Killer Quads group in Birmingham. A lot of 5-inch stuff, but he also had the winter whoops going as well each year. And so eventually we kind of got our heads together and was like, right, we need to join this because there's no point having two in Birmingham. We'll just we'll work together. So we've just amalgamated this last year and decided to run things all together. And it's a really good group of people. But the event, Birmingham International Race Day, came because a set of German pilots came to me and said, right, we've beaten everyone in Germany. We want to come to the UK and see what you're made of. And I was like, right, come on then, we can do this. Why not? So that was Spezzy Lover initiated the contact with that. And he came over. We put on an event in Cons, which is a Birmingham nightclub. It doesn't exist anymore. Unfortunately, COVID killed that one off. But it was a really cool venue. And they were very cool to let us fly around with their normal patrons there, pretty chill with the whole risk assessment, don't fly into anyone and everything's cool kind of attitude, which was good. And we had the first race there. And of course, Spezzy Lover is wicked fast, so he won. We had Rory RC, who some pilots might know is majoritively a plane, line of sight plane pilot, but he also flew whoops then, and he came in second, which we were great because we were like, yes, at least one UK pilot is up there. Stefan was in third, and Wigmar, another UK pilot, was in fourth. So we had kind of Germany, UK. So we were right up there. But yes, Germany did take first place, which was very good. So he showed what he could do, which was cool. We also had a really good contingent that year from Wales come over. The Team Woolly Sheep brought, I think, 3 or 4 of their blokes came over, so I was super happy to see them because they travelled a long way to come to Birmingham, so I was very happy. and like buoyed on by that because people are willing to travel a little bit of distance to come to these events, which is exciting. So yes, that was the first one, and from there, people were asking me, "Are you going to do it next year?" And we were all in lockdown because of COVID silliness. So 1 year went by, and then we were back in 2022, and this was in Birmingham Open Media. It's like another sort of STEM art gallery sort of place. So they kind of mix science and technology with art to try and inspire people to get more involved in that, which is a really cool way of doing it. So I did sort of a drone demo for them for one of their events, and then they let us use their space, quid pro quo, to host our race. That year we had a full UK whitewash. We had Dan Carpy in first, Anti-Hype in second, Carb in third, and Martian McFly in fourth, which was really, really exciting. So we're very happy with that. And then last year, like I say, so those two first races were cheers, Martian. Those first two races was literally me, and I had a lot of help from Jaggers. Worth shouting out to Jaggers because he helped me a lot on this. It was literally me and a spreadsheet and a little RF puck timer, just kind of hashing it together and making it work. A bit rough and ready, but it worked, and it got the job done, and we had some really good events. And then I was like, right, if this is growing at this pace, then we're going to need a bit more professional help to grow this any further. So I was like, right, I know just the guy. Serv is going to be the man for the hour. So he came on and helped us do last year's event, January 2023. That was at a venue called Drop Shot in Digbeth, which is a ping pong hall, I guess you'd call it. Very cool venue. Lots of like graffiti style stuff, ping pong tables everywhere, loads of space, quite a bit of height as well. So we had a bit of height change, which was good fun. But the venue was not ideal for other reasons that the attendees will know about. But we did have Jesse P come along. We had the Italian Whoop League guys came along. We had lots of people travel from all over Europe, Germany, like the lot, and had a really great event. So, yeah.
The pizza was good though. The pizza was really quite nice.
The pizza was good. That was part of the reason I wanted that venue. It was a really good like basis for a venue. But yeah,
I feel like there's a story there. I don't know whether to push on that to find out.
No, they don't seem to want to tell us.
No.
Fishing would have been bad in that venue.
Okay, without putting too fine a point on it, the loos were non-operational, and then they escaped onto the track. So
we had so much fun in commentary trying to just not mention the tornado that was coming out of the venue. There was it up for the entire time, but since there's only you two guys here, we can tell you.
Yeah, keep it under your hats. But there was a small water feature on track for a short period of time, and
don't land in the water.
No.
Water.
And if you do, then check your logs.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So that was the event space last year, and it was brilliant. We had a really good event. It was so much fun. That could have done without that. That was like stress levels are right up here. But this year, the venue, I've been reassured the plumbing is in excellent condition, and and then
the thing is, if you can do an event, and in my rarely humble opinion, if you can do an event that well with a tornado in the corner, that gives you the thought that, hey, we can do even better next year. Because if we pulled that off, then Millennium Point, easy peasy.
Millennium Point is a proper venue. It's not even like I'm convincing a pub to let me have a corner of their room. This is a proper venue with certified plumbing and electrics and stacks of risk assessments and
lots of paperwork.
So, yes, and that has been a bit of a challenge. That's probably the biggest challenge with this event is the paperwork, and the cost of the venue is significantly more because it is such an amazing venue to fly there. they have obviously staff costs, and there is it's an expensive venue. So that's the biggest challenge. The venue, the whole event, I don't want to make money off of this. That is not the plan. The event is run at cost, and then if everyone has a good time, that is the payment. That's all I want, really, is basically just everyone to have a good time. We put on a cool event. We have lots of fun. We have dress up, lights everywhere, whoops flying around all day. Like, that is what we want. It is not run for profit, which is why we've got lots of sponsors on board. They've been super supportive, bringing in loads of prizes, helping with the costs, everything, helping promote it as well, which is amazing. But it's all run absolutely at cost. And then if you want to donate some beer money to the organizers, which is me, Seb, and some friends and family, just to say thanks for putting on an event, then that would be very much appreciated. But it's not required. We just want to have a really cool
event. If I leave this event with my voice intact, I will be disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. We want to get to the end of it and just have cheek muscles that are Arnold Schwarzenegger's abs. That's what we want.
Kind of one of my personal highlights from last year's Bird was decamping all the stuff, throwing it in the car, and then the pub next door. Just oh my God, we've done it. It was amazing. A couple of pints, and voice was gone. Absolutely, we were just absolutely hanging. We were ruined, but it was so nice to be on the other side of it and be so happy. And just riding on that wave of everybody having such a good time. That's where you get paid when you do this stuff.
Yeah, it was wicked to have people come up and just go, it was a wicked track. It was fun. It was, and they traveled a long way as well. We had people, like I say, from Poland, Italy, Germany, the top of the UK, all over the place, bottom corner of the UK. Literally, they traveled thousands of miles to come, and then everyone seemed to go away pretty happy. That's just the coolest thing.
So a question here just popped up, which leads me to ask, what is a revolving gate? Someone's asked, any revolving gates like the first year? So I'm thinking it's some sort of literally something that spins around. You've got to get through it somehow.
Basically, yeah. So I'm going to drop a load of YouTube videos in to the comment and to the description somewhere, and they're videos from each year. People have made little videos, and you'll see in was it 2022? We had a disco ball motor, basically, with a long pole and then two gates hanging on the outside, and the whole thing went round like this. So you had to choose whether you were going to go that one first and then that one, or that one first and then that one, and it changed each time you went around the track. So it was somewhat popular because it looked cool, and somewhat unpopular because the track changed each time you went around. I suspect this year we will not be doing a moving gate, but there will definitely be some very interesting tracks. We're going to do a moving gate? Maybe we do. We're going to have so many interesting features. Yeah.
And
just tease
with
the
Seb
venue,
involved,
show you what's possible.
With Seb involved as well, and I've seen a couple of questions in the chat as well about whether there will be a Joker gate or a Joker lane.
Maybe. I give you a solid maybe on that one. There are technical challenges to VTX lap timing inside a massive Faraday cage. You have to put the start-finish gate way away from the track, and if we can get another timer out there to at least do split times, that would be nice. Whether we'd get the clarity of signal to get away with a Joker lap, I don't know. So for anyone that's not familiar, sorry, over the summer, some of the outdoor races, the 5-inch stuff, we introduced a Joker lap, which is where there was a second route around the track that was shorter for that one lap, and you could play one Joker in each heat. So it would be a 4-lap race, but one of your 4 laps, you choose which one, you can take a shortcut, and that was your Joker lane, which just introduced a little bit more interest and jeopardy into the thing, because we're all about jeopardy. When you're commentating, that's the thing that sells it, is the jeopardy. I'd love to do it with Whips. I'm not sure we could pull it off, but we'll have a look when we're there.
That might be an evolution. Maybe for next year.
Yeah. Might be coming soon. I mean, we've got we've got quite a lot of tech, because you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
And I've got a really good team with me now at FPV Racing Solutions. RC Maniac, who we mentioned, he'll be there. He'll bring the hyper tunnel, hopefully, so that will be interesting. And he's also our VAR judge, our video assisted referee. So he has a full feed of the event going into his box. Each race is recorded, gives us instant replays for the fans. And if someone says, I don't think he went through that gate, or I don't think he counted my lap, we can check it all, which is such a weight off your mind when you're a race director, to have someone just doing that for you and sorting it out. You can just concentrate on keeping that race going, keeping it interesting. And RC Maniac is a tech nerd like me, so he comes with all the field cameras and all the audio visual stuff to help me out and make it a really amazing presentation. So it should be. I'm sort of slightly petrified. Last year was great. I had 4 track cams to deal with and pilot feeds, and I can do individual feeds. So if I've got a pilot chasing another pilot, I can just go to his feed, or I can do head-to-head cams, and and it's going to be even more this year. There's going to be even more cameras to switch between. So,
like I say, we started with just a spreadsheet and a lap timer, and me like punching in like numbers on my phone into like a little spreadsheet, which works. And now we're up to like full video production, live stream equipment, multiple cameras dotted all over the place, interviews. Like there's going to be a whole lot more going on than just four pilot feeds looking at fuzzy video.
So what channel should people subscribe to so that they get the reminders to watch this when it's happening?
FPV Racing Solutions is the YouTube channel you want. So search on YouTube, find FPV Racing Solutions, and give it a like and subscribe, guys.
My bell.
Ding serves bell, yeah. He's also got a Facebook group which is wicked, and they'll get posted up on there. You'll get reminders and things. And if you've been seeing all my adverts for Bird, you'll no doubt get spammed with the live feed links as well.
But don't watch the live stream. Come along, come and watch it with us.
Come along. It's in person. It's going to be incredible, and like you can come along for free and like walk amongst the like stands and stuff we're going to have there, and you'll see a little bit of the track because it comes out into that atrium. And if you want to come in and get up close and personal, meet the pilots, see the live stream and all the video feeds, and see the racing up close and personal, then there's a small entry fee. Like I say, it just goes to cover costs and hopefully pay for the venue by the end of it. So that's what we like, basically. Just bring family on to have a look. And I forgot to mention, actually, not only can you just see stuff going on, you'll be able to do stuff as well. So I mentioned the simulators. The Think Tank Museum are also going to be doing like a workshop where you can build little paper gliders and little paper helicopter things which you can chuck off the balcony. So you'll be able to get involved and learn some bit about flight. And
track obstacles, no?
Yeah, so everyone, when the leaders are coming around the track, they're just going to get bombarded with paper planes. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how much red tape it was. We were doing fine when we said chuck gliders and blah, blah, blah. And they were, that's great, that's great. And then we said, and we'll throw them off the balcony. Like, no. Throwing things off balconies. That's another 2 pages of red tape for that one. Yeah. They've been brilliant. They've been really good.
I'm sure everyone will appreciate the effort.
Yeah. So it should be good. So like I say, the shoot for the stars, get to the moon. We want to get to a point where it's going to be like a little indoor FPV festival sort of thing, and hopefully it will grow into that. And hopefully this year will go well, and Millennium Point like us and they want us to come back, and this event space is massive, so we will be able to grow and make this a bigger and bigger event each year. So I'm very excited about that. And particularly because we get such good pilots coming every year as well. Like they really are some fast pilots coming to race whoops, which are, they're teeny tiny little like toys. These are toys, guys. Like, but they're serious bits of kit as well. If you
go
really fast.
Go and find the FPV Racing Solutions YouTube channel and look for the live from last year. And if you only watch the finals, Well, I was blown away. Predominantly, I'm a 5-inch racer, and I was like, "What? These are whoops. Why are they going this fast? And why are they this controllable? And what's going on?" Amazing what these really quick boys can do with a whoop.
Is there anyone that you can name drop who's coming for this event?
Yeah, I mean, last year we had Codastrophe, who came in third. He's coming back this year. He's from Germany, Dominic Caesar. He's super technical, like flying style. Like he just doesn't crash, it seems. Like he's just on rails the whole way around. And he came in third, so he's super quick at it as well. So it's really good. We've got Carpi, who was the UK champion in 2022. He came in fourth in last year's, but in 22 he came first. He's, I say undoubtedly the fastest UK pilot, but I'm sure a few people would want to put his mettle to the test. He's super quick with whoops. You'll have seen him on iGao. He absolutely nails like iGao tricks and stuff, but he's also a super quick pilot. And I saw him race in Italy recently, and he just turns it up, man. Like he's so quick. He sometimes has a bit of bad luck with gear though, so we'll see what happens. And the final race in last year, which is why he came fourth, he was leading for the whole race, and then he had a random failsafe for some reason and dropped out of the sky from the top of the ladder, which is the last thing you want in a finals race.
He hated it, but as a commentator, I loved it.
it was dramatic. Yeah. So Carpi's one to watch, Codastrophe's one to watch. We've got a couple other UK guys that are really worth watching out for. So Anti-Hype, everyone knows Anti-Hype in the 5-inch world. In tiny whoops as well, ridiculously fast. And he flies with a Spectrum radio. Like, he's going old school. Carb, third in 2022. He's been training a lot recently and is very, very fast. He's been training with King Joshi Stevens, who went to the FIA World Drone Racing Championship in Korea. He's lightning quick, man. Like you see them races, you see the videos they put up on Instagram and YouTube and whatnot from down in Ware, and they are absolutely hooning it around whoop tracks. So I'm very excited to see those two go head to head and give Anti-Hype and Carpi a run for the money too. And then Rich from down in Cornwall, the DRC boys. He's not only is he like super quick racer, he's on a lot of the sim racing and comes to a lot of whoop racing as well. But he's also a real like techie guy. He's done a whole load of like timing programming for their system down there. And they've got a really swish system. They've got something called the Whoop Coops. Which serves, we're doing our own thing, but they have their own like little whoop coops, which are like little boxes, and you put your whoop in the coop, and then when it's ready and the timer goes, the little flaps drop down, and then your whoops jump out of the whoop coop, and they're off racing. So there's no jumping the start line because you're going to hit a wall if you do. So they're pretty cool.
I'm quite jealous of the whoop coops. So my car's already full when I do an event. So.
Yeah. so yeah, there's a lot of
racing or something.
See, there's a comment from Richard Warwick in the chat that there was a kid at Drone Fest, his first time flying whoops with anyone else, and he destroyed the best time on the whoop track. So, there's still room. You've got your 4 tickets. There could still be somebody buys one of those tickets who ends up.
Tell you what, I'm going to go to the ticket admin and just keep an eye on it, see if anybody's got tickets in their cart. See if anyone's got a ticket in the cart.
With only 4 left, do you know which countries we've got?
Oh no, there's 3 left. Someone's bought one.
Yes, someone's bought one.
We've got the Latvians are coming. We've not met the Latvians yet, have we?
No, that's it. So a couple of weeks ago, some Latvians got in touch and said, "Yeah, we're going to come over." I'm like, brilliant, super excited. That's really exciting because the whole idea is just to bring everyone together and get everyone kind of like cross communicating and use the FPV whoop community to just kind of bring everyone together and travel and see what each other do and how they race and who's up for it. So yeah, we've got Latvians coming, we've got Italians coming, we've got the Germans coming, we've got the guys from Cornwall, which are basically French. They're coming. We've got I don't know if any of the Welsh guys are coming. I hope they do because they were really good fun. Who else have we got?
It's quite intimidating, actually. If you stop and think about it too much, it's quite scary. So for me, it's it's a bunch of lugging kit around, and it's like half an hour across town. And I would go and race direct and commentate for a couple of days, and happy days. And if you stop and think, it's like there are people across the planet right now booking flights and hotels and organizing this like huge trip to something that us two have got to like make sure works.
Yeah, on the day it must work.
That's a bit of perspective that scares you, when you start thinking about it. And you watch the video logs afterwards, like people were vlogging. There was a contest for vlogs, and there's like people walking through airports, like looking forward to the bird, and I'm like, oh crikey, no pressure then.
Yeah, the vlogs was really good. So we did a competition. That's one of the prize pools available this year, is for producing the best vlog, which will be open to public voting. So if you want to do, vlog your way into birds, show us around, do what you do, put some DVR on there, and generally just put something cool together, stick it out there on YouTube land. People will be able to vote and say, hey, yeah, that was really cool, and maybe you'll get the coveted prizes that are there. The prizes, where's my list of prizes gone? Hang on. Because the
more prizes than he knows what to do with.
I'd say the sponsors have been spectacular. They put up such good prizes and everything that it just blows my mind. Like, we've got actual cash prizes this year, which is amazing, because obviously coming that distance, it does cost. So being able to offer some cash prizes to say, look, you guys did put in some proper effort and we appreciate you coming all that way, is good. So there's $100 Team Black Sheep voucher up for the best vlog winner. So it's decent. There's some decent prizes up there. Firefly Whoop stores, Reaper Nanos, ELRS receivers, pint glasses, loads and loads of stuff.
Empty or full?
They will be engraved. So there's decent prizes for the vlog. These are just the fun stuff. So you got the vlogs, the best onesie competition. Again, it was open for public voting on the day. So this is another sort of like wife-friendly thing. So your wife at home sitting there is like, oh, that one's good. Yeah, you can vote online, and we'll see who wins that. There's another £100 worth of vouchers and things there as well, and also a Derpy Hooves custom limited edition Lego minifigure that will be made to look like your onesie. So these are rare. Like, anybody who knows Derpy Hooves and the minifigures in the FPV world, these are rare. There's like 30 in the whole world, and they go for they only go out to the big competition. So I'm kind of honored that that she's offered to do one for our competition, because it means that some people take it seriously. I mean, we don't take that seriously, but
I have to say, one of my most prized possessions. I am actually lucky enough to have a minifig of myself, which Derpy did. It's freaking amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, wicked.
So now that we've convinced at least 3 people to that they should go and find the tickets, where do they find the tickets again? Let's remind them.
Cool. So you want to go to matthewsnell.co.uk/BIRD 2024 2024. So matthewsnell.co.uk bird 2024. And you can follow the links from there through to our ticket website and get the tickets there. So I'll check again, there are three race tickets left and 4 standby tickets left. And then obviously, if you want to just come and watch, we would love to have you along.
When they've gone, come spectate, come join us on the day. It's going to be a party.
Yeah, it's going to be wicked. We've got so much going on, so I'm very excited about that. For the people that are coming over, actually, there's also the Whoop House. So you can stay in a hotel. That's cool. We've got a Whoop House going on. I'm not organising that. This is Jaggers. So if you want to get in touch with Jaggers, I'm sure we can link him somewhere. He's organising a whoop house. This is basically a big house somewhere in the country, or relatively nearby, but a big farmhouse basically, where everyone sort of stays. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people stay. And a racetrack is set up. We just order a big bunch of like Chinese takeaway and just have big communal meals, and basically spend the whole time with our FPV goggles down, just absolutely hammering our whoops to death. Nice. So it's just another opportunity to kind of meet and chat and drink and party and fly whoops, basically.
So anyone that wants to come along on the day, do they need to do anything in advance, or do they just turn up at Millennium Point on the 27th and 28th of January next year?
There is a bit of a discount for buying tickets in advance. So if you want to buy tickets in advance, you'll get a bit of a deal. You can just turn up on the day and buy on the door. That's no problem. You can just turn up and have a look at what's going on. There is stuff to see and do that is free. So you don't have to, come into the event. You can visit give it a go, do some think tank stuff, and see the whoops flying a bit from the general area. But yes, come along on the 27th and 28th of January and check it out.
Nice. And anyone that wants to watch on the day, they can go to YouTube and find FPV Racing Solutions.
That's it. That's the place. Bird is the word.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for coming along and talking about your event. I hope it all goes very well. I'm sure it will with the two of you there. And it sounds like you've got a great community as well behind you, which always helps with these kind of events.
Yeah, the community is great. Everyone kind of pitches in, which is the best bit. So we're always super appreciative of everyone that kind of like spurs us on and gives us kind of the confidence to do these things, because it's an expensive thing. We don't, we just want to have a good time, but obviously we need the confidence to go out and do it. So you guys giving us just a bit of enthusiasm and like encouragement just helps us get out there and build these things and make it happen. So we really appreciate that from the community.
100%.
Absolutely. Well,
we'd love to see you guys there too if you want.
I will definitely be checking my calendar after this. It's been great talking to you. Thank you very much. So this has been Let's Drone Out, episode 431, and tonight you have been joined by everyone's favourite Curry Kitten.
Goodbye.
You have been joined by Matt.
Night, guys. Thanks very much.
You've been joined by Seb.
Cheers, everyone.
And I have been Andrew /Frank. Thank you very much and good night. See you next week. Goodbye.